There we go. Once again, my name is Kay, and I am the Senior Program Manager for LIFT. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. This is one of several webinars we're having at different time zones around the world regarding the LIFT Impact Accelerator program. So our objectives this morning are to explain the program and share some tips on how to submit a strong application. I will also share some examples of how procurement can be used to achieve one of our challenge question goals, as well as answer any questions you might have about the LIFT program and connect you to resources, including people that will be able to help you level up your project plans. We've already done some introductions, and so I'm going to dive right in talking about the LIFT program design. I'll share some information about how we will be selecting teams and some resources, as well as plenty of time for answering your specific questions. So first, LIFT. What is LIFT? So LIFT is Open Contracting Partnerships Impact Accelerator program that helps teams of bold reformers to redesign processes, policies, and data to make procurement more goal-driven, user-friendly, and human-centered. LIFT is an 18-month program that provides technical support to teams around the world to more effectively plan for, introduce, and sustain your reforms. Teams receive about 200 hours of technical assistance through the program and up to $35,000 of direct support to fund program-specific project activities. This year, we have 3 challenge questions. So we're looking for teams that are seeking to address any one of these questions. We are looking for, we are looking to know how you will use open contracting to either fight corruption or strengthen democratic institutions, protect the environment or improve climate resiliency, as well as teams that seek to promote economic and social inclusion. So what is open contracting? Well, open contracting is an approach to reimagine public procurement and deliver systemic change. We're really focused on, or open contracting is very focused on data-driven, results-focused, and collaborative digital procurement. It's really about supporting more fair, sustainable, and inclusive communities by making government contracting processes more transparent and working across sectors. So as you can see, the challenge questions that we've asked are very much tied to open contracting itself. So what do you get if you apply for and participate in LIFT? Well, of course, you get to advance your goal that will benefit your community. You'll get to work with us and receive 200 hours of technical support, as well as that up to $35,000 of direct support that I mentioned. You will also be able to participate in 2 liftoff workshops. These are in-person workshops with OCP staff to help you develop, refine, and strengthen your plan, as well as get our assistance on monitoring, learning, and evaluation. Lastly, we really want to share your story and connect you with other experts in the field, and this is something that we're excited to do, and we are always keen to support all of our partners in showcasing their results. So what can LIFT help you achieve? Through LIFT, we can help you build political buy-in and really push for that robust mandate for reforms. We can help you improve the use of open data and open data systems to better manage, monitor, and advance the delivery of public goods. We are also very keen to help you on implementing open contracting strategies related to policies and processes, as well as work with you to design inclusive reforms that really have inclusion throughout your implementation plan. Something else that is very special about LIFT is that we support you in collaborating with your team, as well as with stakeholders, because we know that this collaboration is really important to deliver that systemic change and work on complex problems like procurement reform. Who is eligible for LIFT? Well, we are looking for teams that come from all sectors. So you can be from nonprofit, you can be a social entrepreneur from the private sector, and you can be from government. We are especially interested in teams that are collaborations across these sectors. So we've seen very good results from civil society and government partnerships in particular, and we'd be very interested to receive applications from these partnerships. You can be from pretty much anywhere in the world as long as you meet our eligibility requirements. What are our eligibility requirements? Well, there are only four things that are make or break for us, one of which is that you have to be working towards achieving one of our project goals, or you have to be answering one of our challenge questions. You have to have a strong team. So LIFT is not for an individual or two people, but it's really for a team of people. You have to have at least 4 people working on your project, and those people must be from the departments or organizations that are really important for the project implementation. And you have to demonstrate that you're committed to and have the capacity to participate fully throughout the 18-month-long program. And you must be working in a place that has a minimal level, at least, of press freedom. And we are happy to share that press freedom index with you. But I think most countries qualify. So what types of projects will we support? We are really looking for teams that are seeking to answer one of our challenge questions, and we are looking for your own original ideas. So you might be working towards something that I'm mentioning here, but it might be something totally different. As long as it's answering one of those challenge questions, then we're happy to talk about if you're right for LIFT. So, for example, your challenge might be around corruption, low trust in government, or a lack of representation, which means that your solution might be around using open contracting to improve public spending and integrity. Maybe you want to implement better red flags approaches, or you might want to increase competition. Your challenge could be around climate goals and climate resiliency, and your solution might be around using open contracting to improve access to green and affordable public transit, or maybe measurably reducing the amount of carbon emissions. Lastly, your challenge could be around issues with reinforcing social inequities with how things are currently done. So you might want to use open contracting to improve opportunities for small businesses or women or youth-led minority businesses to participate, or build the capacity of these businesses to compete and win government contracts. So we have run LIFT a few times before, and all of these projects that I'm mentioning here on this slide are projects that we've supported, and these are the types of projects we are interested in supporting moving forward. For example, in Des Moines, Iowa, we were working with them to increase sustainable purchasing. In Assam, India, the team there is working to improve equitable distribution of public goods, works, and services procured for flood relief. With the country of Ecuador, we're really strengthening democratic institutions. While in Mexico City, we worked on the recent big contract to improve access to the Eco BC bike share program. Lastly, in Moldova, we were expanding access to life-saving medicines. So how does the LIFT program work? Well, during LIFT, we really work hand in hand with you to make your project happen. We provide support through bi-weekly calls, as well as the in-person workshops, as well as some virtual workshops, and that financial assistance that I mentioned earlier. So those bi-weekly calls are really the heart of our support. We help you stay on track, as well as provide that outsider perspective and serve as a sounding board to help you think through your challenges and overcome them and pivot as new challenges come up. So we also provide financial assistance, and this financial assistance is eligible for teams based on progress. We do not write you a blank check for $35,000. This funding is really intended to be spent on project-related needs. Although how it's spent is very flexible and decided on a project-by-project basis. It is not intended for core operating expenses such as staff salaries. However, we are open to discuss if staff are working on something that's directly related to project needs. So I'm happy to answer more questions about this. This is something that we get the most questions about. So if something's unclear, I'm happy to talk with you more about that during Q&A. All funding decisions are made in collaboration between you, your advisor that you'll work with through OCP, as well as the organization more generally. Another core element of our support is the liftoff planning workshops. These are in-person, multi-day workshops to help you develop and strengthen your plan. And these workshops are highly customized to your team's specific needs. We kick off the program with an onboarding phase. This is not very long, but it's really time for us to get to know you better and for you to get to know us better. Then we will dive into planning, where we will work with you to refine and strengthen your project goal. This is really where we get going with the workshops. And most of the time together is during implementation, when we really work with you closely to help you overcome your challenges and implement your open contracting strategies. To participate in LIFT, we expect that you will proactively work to achieve your project goals, that you'll attend those regular check-in calls, and you'll participate in the workshops, and that you will develop and use a monitoring, learning, and evaluation plan. Another key aspect of the program and our work in general is around data. So it matters to us that you'll also proactively work to gather relevant data to your project goals, both to set baselines as well as understand your progress. We know that collecting procurement information and data can be very challenging, and that's something that we will be more than happy to work with you on and think through how to analyze it. We have a two-phase application process. The first is the open call for written applications, and these applications are due on May 5th, so you have quite some time to work on them. And then we will invite some of the most competitive applications to participate in a pitch interview with us. And final decisions about who is selected will be made in consideration of regions. So we really want regional diversity, topic diversity. So that means that we are interested in supporting teams across those challenge questions. And decisions will also be made in consideration of OCP team capacity and organizational resources. Unfortunately, we cannot work with all the great projects that come to us through LIFT, but we are really interested in supporting our partners generally, and we'll try to find opportunities for us to work together moving forward within or outside of LIFT. So how are we evaluating applications? We are looking at applications to see how competitive they are across these three criteria. The first is around the potential impact of the plan and the strength of the plan to achieve your objectives. The second criteria is around your team's power to make change, including if you have support from key stakeholders that will make a difference. And lastly, we're interested in your team's capacity to deliver on your project and address your challenges. The key date to know here moving forward is May 5th, which is when we are expecting to close the application close the open application phase, and we'll start assessing applications. We are going to invite those select teams in June to participate in a pitch with us, and we will announce which teams are selected in July and start working with people in August. We really do want to help you create the strongest application possible, and I wholeheartedly invite you to reach out, and I am happy to speak with you, or one of my colleagues will speak with you to hear more about your project and think with you about if there's any way you might strengthen it before submitting it on May 5th. If you are interested in attending those office hours, please reach out. I will drop my email, or Riley will drop my email in the chat. And you can also find it on the website if you lose it. And I look forward to hearing from you. So now we should have plenty of time for Q&A. So please feel free to come off mute and ask questions. I am all yours.
You want to stop recording for questions?
Sure. As soon as I remember, I stopped recording.